I am M4J, just transitioning the screen over there. Hello, welcome back to Stagz to Riches here on Football Manager 2022. Like I said, I am M4J here in my Hatfield Town shirt once again, which you can't see because my microphone's in the way. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Hatfield Town, ready to go. We've got a good stream for you guys tonight. Hopefully, good stream for you guys tonight. Hopefully, we're going to go into a match. We're going to win it. I do just very quickly need to progress the game on to match day. That's one of the things that I was worried about just now. Hopefully, YouTube is behaving itself as well. Good evening, brain cells. Hopefully, I can be seen. Hopefully, I can be heard. I'm just checking. Yes, awesome. I mean, I can see myself on the screen, so that's a positive at least. And just waiting for the thumbs up. There we go. Thank you, Laura. We are ready. So, we are playing a local derby against Welwyn Garden City. I just want to make sure before we go into the match proper. No match plan. No match plan. Would help if I could click the right thing. I swear I've played this game before. I swear I have. Right. Yes, we're playing local derby against Welwyn Garden City. We are playing at home, which is always nice. Some of this stuff I'm going to ignore. I'll do that one as well. Here we go then. So we're going to clear the team. And I'm going to introduce you to the new players as we go along. So first of all, backup keeper Nathaniel Ford. Brought in from Royston. Played once for us already this season. Like I said, he's back up to Madge. There were teams sniffing around Madge, so just wanted to make sure that if he did leave, we had cover. I believe he kept a clean sheet. Yes, he did. He kept a clean sheet on his debut with an average rating so far of 7.3, which I'm pretty impressed by. Not going to lie. So he's, like I said, backup keeper choice, but we are going to go with Madge in goal. Back four, we're going to have Tuo, however you say his name. Del Piccolo, who's now staked a claim and won, really, to play at right centre-back there. It's a toss-up between Torum and Mason for the left centre-back role. I'm actually going to give it to Mason. So I think he's been in better form recently. And then left-back, we've got a few choices here. We've got Caden Genovese, who joined us during the closed season. He's a pretty decent player. I wouldn't have signed him otherwise. Can play left back, can play left wing back, can also play centre back. Can technically play DM, but I wouldn't use him there that often. He's strong. He's 183 centimetres tall, which is what, 6'1"-ish? 6'1" and a bit. Spare change, something like that. Is currently suspended though, so he won't be playing for us today. We've then got Aaron Marsden, who I did try to sign halfway through last season. Was able to bring him in at the end of last season. He's a short left back. Can play with left wing back as well. He's one of these ones, it's kind of like a join the dots when you think about it. He can also play up front, sort of. I wouldn't, because his finishing's only 2. Pretty strong though. Reasonable pace, good stamina. Agility's all right. Bravery. That's one of the reasons I brought him in. Decisions, determination, teamwork. And yeah, he fills in quite nicely there as well. But the player I'm actually going to bring in is Kian Hope, who again is like a join the dots. He looks like a domino with where he can play. A 6 domino. He's also a short left back, but he can play wing back, can play midfield, can also play as DM and a central midfielder. But again, he's not a bad Mazzala actually, but still. Would rather he played at left back, and that's where he will be today. So we will stick him in there. Central midfield then. Boy, have we got options. We're going to have Wilcox playing left central midfield. We're going to have, where's he gone? Prosser, there he is, playing at right central midfield. Now I think these two you've already met, but Prosser is basically a ball-winning midfield. That's what I've brought him in to do. He's got good tackling, good passing. He can play as a box-to-box as well, and he's got pretty decent... Actually, I don't know what it said on there, but he's got pretty decent finishing from what I've seen. Only a 5. Oh, he scored a good goal in my last game. And then Wilcox, you already know, because we met him last week. In terms of other signings then in midfield, We've got Marius Antonio, who I've brought back to the club. He was with us last season. You might remember he left us to join Slough. He's actually been around a lot since then. In the last year, literally the last 12 months, he's played for us, Slough, Eastbourne Borough, and Canvey Island. Although technically he never actually played for Slough or Eastbourne Borough. He might have played for their youth teams, but he never played for the senior teams. 4 appearances for Canvey Island, and then I convinced him to join us on loan for hopefully until the end of the season. He's going to be on the bench. We'll come back to him in a second. In terms of the attacking midfield then, I'm going to put this guy here, Joseph Pickler, at left attacking midfield. He plays as a wide target man. Can also play as a central target man. On the right, we're going to have... I just want to check. Is it you? Kinda. We could have Hayden Campbell then playing on the right, or we could go with someone like Joe Ragg, who I've just brought in. Or actually, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play Alessandroni. I forgot about him. He's one of the best signings I've ever made. 17 years old, Argentinian, scouted him from Newport. He's just really good. He's just really, really good. The fact that he's only 17, and yet, you know, he's got pretty decent stats, don't get me wrong. Passing and technique, that's what I like. On this guy, and he plays as an inverted winger. Can't speak. Plays an inverted winger, which is something that we had before, and I felt we needed again. And we've got Hope, who plays as a wing back, who overlaps, and it actually works really, really well. In terms of right midfield, then I'm trying to remember who played for us there last time. I think it was Max Rudge, who's currently picked up a slight knock, so we're not going to risk him. We're going to play Blair up front. Actually, are we? Oh, I've got too many choices now. That's one of my problems. We're going to play Ragg at right midfield. Joe Ragg, who also, I believe, brought in from Newport. Yep. Brought him in for £2,000, which technically it's all in instalments, so it's not actually going to cost us that much. But I wanted to bring in someone else as cover. Did my usual trick where I kind of signed 2 or 3 players at the same time. But I'm pretty happy with this business. I still think it's good business for us. So he's going to play there. I think that's set up perfectly for him. Yep. Now, in terms of attacking midfield, it's going to be Andre McLaren. Purely because Donald Green's actually gone out on loan. He kicked off for some reason. I don't know why. He was talking about he wasn't getting first team football. And I'm pretty sure he'd started like 4 games in a row when he kicked off. But he's gone out on loan now to try and get first team football. As has Morley, as has Self, as has Brandon Buckley, who you guys I don't think ever met. I brought him in during the close season. Let me just get those guys out of the way there. So this is the lineup I want to go for, although I'm very tempted to bring Draper in up front, but I could also have him come off the bench. We'll see about that. Bench is going to be possibly, I think it's going to be Marsden as the left back option, Maxwell as pretty much the everything option, and then Simper. Actually, no, sorry, Simper. Actually, no, sorry, I'm getting confused. Antonio, or Antonio, however you want to say it. Then I'm going to bring Campbell in, and then I'm going to bring, I think, Pickler in as the target man. I'm pretty happy with this, I would say. I think this could do well for us. If things start to go a little wrong, we will tweak things around. But for the most part, I think this is what we're going to go with. I'm just quickly going to tag Hatfield in a tweet, just so that they know that I'm live. Hopefully we'll share it and get some people in. We have sadly lost pretty much all of our OG players and staff members now, which is a shame. But I think it was a necessary evil, because not saying they held us back or anything, and I think I messed up in the editor again. I seem to have found a bug as well where I was tweaking players in the editor, and then I would go on to another player, go back to the first player, and they'd been reset. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. But since I've started being a bit more ruthless in the transfer market, we have been winning more matches. So I'm not saying it was their fault, but at the same time, it is a bit of a coincidence that, you know, I've changed things up a little bit and we are now playing better. Let's just make sure we are on full match. Do we have sound? No, we don't. 1 second. I'll just tweak that as well. One other thing I've forgotten to do pause that for a second. Actually, do you know what? I think I'm just going to record from this and send this over. No. No, I'm an idiot. 1 second, guys. Let's open up a second OBS. Just to make sure. I'm going to quickly tweet as well. And I have done this before, guys, honest. That's what I'm looking for. Come see how we do in a local derby. And then tag the club. And then, of course, hashtag Stagz. Because why wouldn't you? There we go. Right. And then we're going to open up the second OBS. Might as well do player instructions as well whilst I'm messing around here. So we're going to go wider there. Play out of defence is fine. We're not going to... Whoops. We're not going to work the ball into the box. We're going to go with the standard here. Much higher tempo. Just higher tempo. Be more expressive. This is all fine. Transition. We're going to counter. Distribute to fullbacks as well. And then out of... Turn that off. And then out of possession. That's going to go there. And that's going to stay where it is. We're going to do that. 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 And that. Cool. Let's just get... that's not what I wanted. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that one. There we go. Main display capture. Hopefully I haven't messed up things on my side. Nope. Still moving. Good, good. Bear with me, guys. We're almost ready. I've had a busy day at work today, and I'm just going to blame that, to be honest. Busy week, actually. Busy couple of weeks. That's why there wasn't any streams last week. It was all pre-recorded. I was busy Wednesday anyway, but Tuesday just knackered. So pre-record everything. Right. That. And if I hit start recording on that, just open the right folder. Make sure that's all working. Everything's probably going to be really like jittery and stuff now, but never mind. Go. Cool. We're ready. We're going. Alrighty. We got a free kick nice and early. Free kick to be taken by Hope. He's whipped it in. Mason went for the header there. It was headed well away by Fanthorpe. Kenny now on the ball here out wide. Finding Fanthorpe once again. Forcing them back to the keeper. That was good closing down there as well from, I think that was Blair. We're doing really well in the attacking areas now. We've got so many options for players, and they all seem to be pretty much in form. Even Draper, who I had an absolute go at in last week's episode, he's recovered. You know, he's scoring goals again. Oh, and I forgot his name. Alessandroni. Probably pronouncing it wrong as well. Bear in mind that, you know, I play a lot of Football Manager sort of late at night when I'm advancing the game, so I'm winning matches, but a lot of the time I'm sort of bleary-eyed and not really aware as to what's going on. Blair, that's a beautiful ball through to Rag, and he's got options in the middle, has he? No, he's been dispossessed. Harrison gets the flick on, but Del Piccolo with the recovery. He's flicked one over towards Blair. Headed out wide, Rag with the interception. Again, options on, pulls it back to Prosser. Now Thuo into Prosser. He goes down. That's another free kick, possibly a booking. Just a warning. I think that's fair. We're only 2.5 minutes in. It'd be a bit weird if, you know, players started getting booked that early into a game. Mind you, I mean, I've seen players get sent off 10 seconds into a game before now, so it does happen. Hellawell back to Matthews into... I didn't see who that was, but now it's Jenna. Come on, lads, close them down. You know something else I'm going to do as well? I'm going to grab this and do that. Hopefully that doesn't affect the music too much. But I think this is the only place where I'm like out of the way. I'm just going to move me up there. Hopefully that means you can see all the stuff at the bottom of the screen now. Everything should be hunky-dory. Nice. Right. Fanthorpe to Taylor. Across to Kenny. I think they're playing a back three, are they not? So we might struggle a little bit with only one up top, but we can easily switch the formation if necessary. Rag can also play as a striker. I wouldn't say it's his strongest position, but he can play there. And McLaren can move out wide. So we could go for a 4-4-2. Again, I love these versatile players. There's a couple of guys on the squad list that I haven't introduced you to yet. We will meet them as the series goes on, as the season goes on as well, of course. Who've been brought in as cover or to provide options in certain areas because they're versatile. I think there's a couple more players that I'm trying to move on and bring in as well, just to keep the squad on their toes, basically. There's definitely players from last season who would need moving on. Oh, Wilcox, that ball was risky. Prosser got booked just now as well, which isn't ideal. Nice ball from McLaren, though, to Blair. Back to McLaren. Alessandroni wins the throw-in pretty high up the pitch, at least. So I think that's pretty fair. Football, then. Let's talk about the football season so far. Liverpool can't buy a win. They'll probably buy a Southampton player, though, to get themselves out of trouble. It tends to be what they do. Newcastle unbeaten so far this season. A win and 2 draws. Doesn't sound great, but we drew against Brighton, who had already beaten Man United. And we drew against Man City. And, 3-3 draw against Man City. One of the best Premier League matches I've ever seen. I'm gutted, because we were 3-1 up. And I really feel we should have won that. But City be City. Fair enough, they came back. There was no BS involved. Haaland's goal was lucky, but there was, it wasn't fluky, I would say. And Bernardo Silva's goal was just well taken. So fair play. Good on Newcastle to come back from a goal down, though. And we looked very, very on it for most of the match. Oh. Stevenage, we've played, I want to say 5 matches in the league. I believe we've won 4 of them. We've drawn at least once, I know that, but we are unbeaten in the league. We're also unbeaten in the cup. We beat Reading in the first round of the League Cup, and tonight we're playing Peterborough in the second round, which I'm going to be watching after this stream, which I'm also very excited by. Hatfield lost, I believe, 2-0 at the weekend. They won their first game 2-0 though. I think they've only played twice. I need to check these things before I start talking, really, don't I? Yeah, I believe we've only played twice, and we've won 1, lost 1, and a goal difference of 0, which is not ideal, but it could be worse. Sounds like a lot of the behind-the-scenes work is taking effect now, which is good. There's some good times ahead, we hope. Certainly for this team that we're watching on screen here, we are top of the league. I forgot to mention that at the start of the stream, but I did mention it in the description. We're top of the league. We have lost this season. I can't remember how many times. Might be 2 or 3 times. But we are doing very, very well. We are what I like to call the pace setters. We're leading early at the top of the league. We are halfway through. We're in December. Hopefully we can keep the form up. Like I said, the squad's looking good. Pretty much everyone's in form right now, which is encouraging to see. Even if a player has to come in because of injury or suspension, whatever it might be, they seem to hit the ground running pretty quickly. Again, can't speak. So not much to complain about. In terms of M4J and football news, not much to complain about. It's all looking pretty rosy. Alessandroni to Wilcox to Hope. We like to get the ball in tight areas here as well. Like, look at this, for example. He's playing with his back to the opposition player, but we're moving it around nicely. And there's Wilcox with the up and under, almost picking out Blair. If that had been Draper, definitely would have found him there. Sadly, not to be for for Blair. I might go with slightly shorter here. And I do want definitely overlap on the left. I might leave the one on the right off for now. But definitely want Hope to overlap on the left. That's a really good ball to Blair. Oh, he took it first time. Smashed it over the bar. Don't really have anyone who would score from hitting that first time. Pretty much everyone would need to take a touch. I really hope I'm not messing up my audio here, because the wire has been pulled pretty tight. There we go. Just means I can sit back in the chair now and you guys can still hear me. That's a good ball as well to McLaren. Bit of a heavy first touch, but he's kept it alive. Picked out Wilcox, now Hope. Wilcox again, Hope again. Crossing opportunity, flicks it across. And he was offside. I had a feeling he might have been, but yeah, flag went up. They were playing quite deep there though, so you never know. Different day, different outcome. Del Piccolo, I must say about him as well. So he was our right back at the start of last season. Good one too. But he is naturally a centre back. And, you know, we had Brown, we had Turam, we had Mason, Maxwell occasionally played there too. It was a very, very congested position in our squad. But he's done very, very well since he started playing there. And I'm pretty sure he only played there because we had 2 injuries and a suspension. We ended up with, I think it was Maxwell and Del Piccolo as the centre-backs. And he played well. So I picked him for the next game. He played well then too. And now he's pretty much made this position his own. And, you know, he moves the ball around really well. He's dominant in the air. He is still a little slow sometimes when the ball gets played in behind. But I think all defenders at this level are a little bit slow. Considering he has played fullback in the past, he is a little bit quicker than the others. Bit like... who did we have before who also played right back? Do you know what? I can't even remember. But yeah, he's slightly more mobile than the other centre-backs. So he is better to have when we play against teams who like to play the ball over the top. But yeah, so far so good. We don't concede many right now. He has committed a foul there though. Oh wait, no, sorry. He's won a foul there. Genuinely so used to when incidents like that happen, it going against us. Just assumed. Oh, that's another one. That's got to be, yeah, yellow card for Rain Hellowell. What a name. What a name. Some of the players' names sometimes are absolutely fantastic. Ooh, that was a cheeky effort. Wasn't a shot from Wilcox at all, but that could have gone in. If it just had a bit more whip on it, or if someone just got a little flick, that's all we needed. Hope losing out to the header there. One thing I will say this season is we are losing more headers in the fullback positions, which is something that really shouldn't matter. It doesn't, I wouldn't say it costs us at all, but like last season, for God's sake, stop committing fouls. Last season when we had Del Piccolo at right back, and who do we have at left back? Morley and Barker, wasn't it? Brandon Barker was the other left back. I think they were a little bit taller and they were winning more headers. Del Piccolo especially, as we've already said. So we do find the ball gets played down the channels a little bit more now. Because even though we've got more mobile fullbacks, they're not as good in the air. So the ball gets played in the air, down the channel, gets headed back in. Or headed back to the fullback again, their fullback. So that's one area perhaps we could look at. But again, it's such a small thing. And because we're pretty dominant in the centre anyway, the amount of crosses that we concede from right now is pretty low. Great kick out there from Madge. Beautiful first touch from Hope. Attack is on. Finds Alessandroni. Wilcox into McLaren. He goes out wide to Hope. Alessandroni back towards Hope, who is going to get there. He fires it across. That was a good ball in. Just needed Blair to run across the front there of Fanthorpe. Again, really good build-up play. I am loving this. Harrison is getting the beating of Mason, though, which I'm a little bit worried about. Do we do man marking? I want to see what positions They got 2 up front, Harrison and Jenner. Do we man mark 1 centre back on each? I don't know. It's not something I do very often. I did it in the Sunderland game and it really didn't work. But then they're so much better than us, it probably wouldn't have worked regardless. So Hunt to... Is that Nanaji? Is that how you pronounce that? Good ball played in behind, but Wilcox covering nicely. Always good to see. And Hatfield Town have retweeted me as well. Lovely. Thank you, guys. Alison Droney, good first touch. Hope on the overlap. Can't get the ball to him himself. Wilcox spraying it across to Rag. That was a really nice ball as well. Now Prosser to Thuo. Rag. Infield to Wilcox. Knocks it quite a long way out wide. Alison Droney couldn't quite keep it in play. That's unlucky. Could see what he was trying there. Just didn't quite work out. I might have you as a box-to-box. Wilcox plays as the deep line playmaker. Yeah, so Wilcox can do the more sitting back role. I might even have you on defend rather than support, and Prosser can then get forward a little bit more. Alison Droney's cross, headed away by Kenny to Matthews. No one in the middle there. Oh, Mason with the mistake. It's not going to come back to bite us just yet, but you can't underhit passes in that area of the pitch. That is very dangerous. Bentley with a big kick forward. Del Piccolo winning the header. Prosser knocking it back. I'm just going to pretend that was Prosser who won that, even though it wasn't. Rag now. He's struggling a little bit, actually. He's not been as effective as I was hoping. Although that can quite quickly change. Maybe if I put Thuo on overlap, just to give him some support, because I think right now he's a bit isolated. That wasn't a bad run, though. I'm going to do that. Switch overlap on here as well, and maybe even switch this back to standard, because I think right now we're missing out on some opportunities for longer passes. I don't know what Prosser's done there. That wasn't to McLaren at all. He's given it away, but we've got hope. We've always got hope. And yeah, good interception. I can't think of any good jokes right now. I'm all out of ideas. I've been script writing quite a lot the last couple of weeks, and yeah, brain is fried. You know how it is. Another foul from the GC. That's a nice ball out wide to Hope. Should have crossed it first time. Finds Alison Droney instead. That is a corner, so fair play. Did do enough there to get an opportunity here. Win the set piece. It's Blair to take. Flicks it perfectly into the middle. That's a good ball in. Just needed a touch. Alison Droney to Prosser. Now Wilcox, who does like to shoot from distance. He'll try to play a reverse ball this time. English only in the chat, please. Much appreciated. Rags cross. Alison Droney's header. I think that's removed the message. Yeah. Nothing personal. It's just I prefer messages written in a language that I can understand, I'm afraid. Otherwise I don't know what people are saying. Hope to Alison Droney. Back to Hope. Wilcox, who does like to run in from deep. Crossing opportunity. Hope does get it in. Again, it doesn't beat the man on the near post. A bit frustrating. Well won back by Mason. Wilcox now to Hope. Down the line to Alison Droney. He knocks it back to Wilcox. Now Hope with the cross. Blair's header. Good save, but it was offside. Hope was offside. How close was it, though? I think that was pretty close, you know. It would have been a VAR decision. Fanthorpe now going long. He kicks it, what, 20 yards in front of him? You know what I mean. Harrison now. Tries to cut it across. Del Piccolo with the cutout. Hoofs it away. McLaren with the interception. Finding Blair. Who again, a little bit isolated so far, but he has popped up once or twice. Rag, that's a good sprint. Keep going. Keep going. Blair's in the middle. He's crossed. He's found him. Blair's with... Oh, Blair's header. Again, I got so excited I couldn't speak for a second there. Keep clicking on things as well. Also, I need to put the cursor up here now so that you don't see it on stream. How are we doing match rating wise? Prosser and Rag on 6.6s. Prosser has been booked. Thuo on a 6.6 as well. Then we got Madge, Mason, Wilcox, and that's it on a 6.7. Then Del Piccolo, McLaren and Blair on 6.8s. And then Alessandroni and Hope on 6.9s. So pretty average, I would say. No outstanding players, but also no stinkers so far. Again, it's a really good ball in from Hope. Someone needs to be on the end of that. Here's Prosser. Around the corner to Rag. Rag's cross. Overhit for Blair. Oh, that was a bit of a low stinger there from the keeper. Someone could have got a foot on that. Crosser to Alessandroni. Hope coming in. Alessandroni continues. And he does get it across. Oh, nearly fell for Blair. Now Wilcox to Crosser. It's a really nice ball to Alessandroni, who's offside. That happens a lot. How are we doing stats wise? We're over halfway through. 6 shots, 4 on target, 56% possession. We are dominating them right now, but things can change. I'm already thinking of potential changes at half time. I think we need 2 up top. I think that's something we might have to do, because they have got 3 centre backs. Blair's always got someone on his shoulder. Does make it tricky. Then he is a slippery customer. He can get away from defenders. Good header, Mason. Nice. Gets it back from Madge. First time to Del Piccolo. Back to Mason. Wilcox, Mason. Madge. Goes long this time. Blair is there. And he wins the free kick. That's very well played. I think he's bought that one off the ref there, but, you know. Wilcox's ball. Headed behind for a corner. Another good opportunity. Blair with the corner. Sticks it to the far post. I think that was Del Piccolo there. Again, probably should have won it, but never mind. Prosser now wraps his foot around it. Blair coming in at the back post. Headed well clear. Alessandroni to Wilcox into Prosser. Wilcox out wide to Thuo. Forward to Rag. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's little to no options in the box. Well, that was well played, and the flag goes up again. This linesman is the bane of my existence right now. He's just flagging everything. probably was offside, don't get me wrong, but you know, sometimes they're supposed to get them wrong. It'd be nice if it was in our favour for once. It's their turn to move it around a little bit. Just close them down, lads. Close them down. Stuck in. Nearly half an hour on the clock. Question is, do I change things now? Let's just explore something. How good is Rag as a striker? Not bad. Finishing of only 3. But if we played him as like a pressing forward, he wouldn't really have to be a finisher. So I think we do this, we do this, and we do that. We set you as a winger, you as a... Actually, deep lying... You could probably do that. And then Blair would be a poacher set to attack. I think we'll try this for a little bit. We will try and play down the wings a little bit more. We'll up the tempo as well. So we're not changing personnel, we're just changing system. Just put someone up front alongside Blair. Shouldn't upset the apple cart too much. And it'll be a 3 against 2 then, rather than 3 against 1. So it means someone's always got to be looking over their shoulder. Phone's doing cartwheels still. What's going on? Yeah. Literally the least important thing in the world. Alrighty. Rag on the ball. We haven't made the tactical change yet, so he's still playing out on the right. He has gone down there, though. Is that going to be a yellow card, ref? This will be the tactical change now. Yep, there is a yellow card. Is that 2 they have now, and we have 1? Might be 1 apiece. Hope with the ball in. Nah. Straight into the hands of Bentley. Is it 1 apiece? No, they do have 2. LOL and Nanaji. Nanaji? Unaji. I'm going to say Unaji. I think that's probably closer to what you're actually meant to say. Man, I'm just terrible with names, it seems. That's got to be another one as well. Good run from McLaren there. Good movement. That is a yellow card. Charlie Munn, so the left back now is on a yellow. Again, here comes Hope. Not the best ball in again. McLaren with a chance to do something here though. Plays it to Wilcox. Back to McLaren. Wilcox again. Over the top towards Rag, who does get the flick on. But I think Blair was offside anyway, and it did roll through to the keeper. Half an hour on the clock. Still 0-0. Would like to see that change shortly. Big kick forward, Del Piccolo dominant in the air as always. Where's Thuo? Where's McLaren? Ooh, not a bad ball. I don't know where Thuo went. Del Piccolo seems to be playing wide right then. Oh, he's back there now. Mason with the header. Alessandroni with the knock out wide there to Hope. Starts running with it, plays it down the channel. That's a really good ball. Blair on it. Flicks it across. Oh, no, not Wilcox. Rag with the shot. Good save from the keeper. That's better. 2 up top. That's what we needed. Now Blair can run the channels. Great ball from Hope. Look at that. Sprung the offside trap. Nice touch. Took it to the byline. just flung it across. Blair now with the corner. Goes near post this time, and there was someone there. It was Mason. Harrison with the clearance. He seems to have Mason's number now, which is a bit of a shame. Thought Blair might have had a crack from distance then, but no. We end up losing the ball, but that's a great challenge from Hope. Wilcox to Alessandroni. It goes down, and Nanaji with the foul. He's been booked. Is that a second yellow? Yes, it is. They are down to 10 men. Kenneth Nanaji, with the second yellow in the 33rd minute. And that puts us in a very good position indeed. So I believe he was one of them. Actually, was he their right wing back? I think he was one of their central midfielders, actually, because they've sacrificed a striker. So we could potentially tweak our system again a little bit. See what we can do. Wilcox with the ball over the top. Blair chasing it down. It's a good first touch. Second touch let him down a little bit. Crosser now to Wilcox. Over the top to Blair, who I think was offside. Yeah. That's annoying. But what can you do? Not run offside, I suppose. That would be a good one. I might do some player instructions in a minute as well, just to... in fact, why don't I just do that now? Blair, player instructions. So I want you to basically stay in position, which I can't get you to do with poacher roll, which is annoying. But I want Rag to move into the channels. So I want you to roam. You move into the channels anyway. Run wide with ball is fine. Stay wide is fine too. Take more risks is a-okay. I'm happy with the majority of that. Blair, have you got shoot more? Yeah, shoot more often. Gassan, am I saying that right? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Again, I'm terrible with names. I do apologise. Alright, McLaren, if we cross from deep, get further forward. Alessandroni, I'm going to get you to sit narrower. Also cross from deep. Cross more often. Do we want you to roam? Yeah, I suppose you can fill the cam gap as well, because Hope can come in and play basically as a second left winger. Speaking of Hope, so you're getting forward, stay wider. Also cross from deep. I guess cross more often too. I hope they don't take this too literally though. Wow, you have nothing. You are just the blankest canvas. Oh, I pronounced it perfectly. Oh, thank you. I'm surprised by that, to be honest. It's not my forte, getting people's names right. McLaren. Oh, good first touch. Really? Never happened before. I'd love to know how people do pronounce it then. Apart from incorrectly. McLaren. Crossing opportunity. Knocks it back to Theo Prosser. Not the best. The thing I'm afraid of now is they just form like a blockade in front of their box. Again, it is quite easy to break down still at this level, but I hate teams that do that. I can understand why they do that, but I hate them. It just kills the game. Sucks all life out of it. There's a lot of space here, though. We've gone for a pretty big pitch this season. Not big enough for that pass, sadly, but a pretty big pitch still. Hopefully it plays into our hands. Just realised the cursor actually does disappear, so if I just move it down here, it should go away. There it goes. And then I'm near the tactics button just in case. Blair sliding in. Oh. I do need to tell Prosser as well. Ease off on tackles, please. I don't think there's anything else I want you to do. Oh, miss out the G. Okay, fair enough. That kind of makes sense. How's the music level, by the way, guys? Is it audible? I've noticed before that it was a little on the quiet side when I was watching footage back. I like the fact now that I've got it so that when I'm streaming there's music, but when I'm recording there isn't. That's useful. We don't really want music on the playback. Wilcox with a foul. That's his name taken now. Tell him to ease off as well. Season's going well. We got knocked out of the FA Cup. Second preliminary round, I think it was, to London Tigers. We're still in the FA Vars. Actually, no, we didn't get knocked out to London Tigers. It was someone else. We got knocked out of the Gladwish Challenge Trophy, I think it was, by London Tigers. That's one of the finals we got to last season. We also are still in the Premier Division Cup. We're top of the league. We're still in the FA Vars. I think I've said all these already, but I'll say them again. Things are good though. We got a good squad. It's a smaller squad than it looked on the selection screen, believe it or not. There's a couple of young players that I did promote up as well. They kind of bounce between the under-23s and the senior team depending on what we're doing. There's a lot of players out on loan this season. We let a lot of players go. I think we let like 40-something players go at the end of last season. And that's all age groups. It's not just the first team. But yeah, I just wanted a massive purge, trim the wage bill. We got rid of some staff members as well. I think right now our under-23s team is actually run by the first team coaching staff, because there's no point of having an under-23s coaching team at this stage because we're not competing in anything, you know. They're not learning anything. More often than not, it's, you know, our 35-year-old midfielder who can't get a game for the first team is going to be in the under-23s, so they're not going to be needing to be coached. Other than that, you know, the under-18s we've kind of trimmed back, but not a huge amount. I have cut back on youth recruitment entirely because we had a bit of a dud intake last season. The one this season apparently sounds like it's going to be a good one, but I think it's going to be the last good one we'll get for a while. It's going to be the last one I think we'll get for a while, because I think I've reduced funding to 0. That was flappy hands there from the keeper. Alison Droney, shot blocked. They got a lot of players back now. This game is in depth, and there's a game coming out Thursday, in fact, early access, F1 Manager 2022, which is kind of the management system is sort of modelled on this, but it's Frontier's own take on it. Frontier are amazing at management games. Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Elite Dangerous, Jurassic World Evolution. They're all Frontier games, and they're bringing us F1 Manager later this week. I will hopefully be streaming that probably from next week, next Friday, on the channel here, because it is very, very similar to, I don't know if anyone here has played Motorsport Manager. It's also very similar to that, but yeah, it's a management game, so it obviously draws comparisons. Sports management as well, so it draws a lot of comparisons to Football Manager. But this game is as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. You can delegate things, so if you don't want to handle transfers, you can delegate staff members to do that for you. Same with training, same with press conferences, technically, same with matches. So I have a match plan that I normally use where I just click go and the game basically runs itself. It's stuff that I have set up, so technically I am still in charge, and I do watch the game and I can interfere at any point. But for the most part, it runs itself, and it's very, very satisfying when you get a good result and things go to plan. And that definitely seems to be happening for us this season. So I have 3 teams in real life. Obviously Hatfield Town, who we're playing as today. But I'm also a boyhood Newcastle fan. Supported Newcastle all my life. Newcastle United, that is. So this season's going to be a good one. We deserve it, that's for sure. But I'm also a Stevenage fan, because I'm from Hatfield, which is just down the road from Stevenage. So I was a season ticket holder at Stevenage for, I think, like 15, 16 years. This is the first year that I haven't bought a season ticket for Stevenage, and it's kind of weird. Like I went to the game at the weekend, saw us beat Carlisle. Good game, played very well. Bit sloppy at times, but still a good result. And it just felt weird to have to buy a ticket for a Steamage match, because it's been so long since I've had to do that. Apart from cup games, of course, but you know, that's different anyway. Yeah, just to have to buy a ticket to go see my team play, it's weird. Oh, Blair! Get in! Is he offside? He better not be. Don't think he is. Newcastle did do well against Man City, yeah. Great result. Let's watch this, because I wasn't really paying attention. Hope with the cross. McLaren with the flick on. And there was Blair at the technically near far post to knock it in. What a goal. That's kind of what I brought him in for, to be honest, to create moments like that. And there's the goal that we needed. We could technically sit back now and hold on to the lead, because I don't think Welwyn Garden City are going to do much. But I've said that before. We have a really good habit of taking the lead and then throwing it away. So I just want to keep their heads. That's a yellow card for Blair. That's not keeping your head now, is it, Aaron? You can ease off tackles now too. Yeah, Trippier's free kick against City was literally as he hit it. I thought internally, almost said out loud, like, what's he hit it that side for? And then it flew in the top corner, and I'm so glad I didn't say anything. So I'd have looked like a bit of an idiot. I thought he would have gone top right. But no, top left was on. And to be honest, we get free kicks in those positions now, and we're almost guaranteed a goal. He's that good at free kicks. It's very exciting. And Almiron's looking good. St. Maximan's looking good. You know, Wilson's hopefully not injured now, but he's in form and he's scoring goals, and he was fit until he went off. We do need another striker. Hopefully we can get something done before the end of the window. But yeah, for me personally, it's a really good time to be a football fan right now. I would encourage anyone who's starting to get into football and is looking for a team to support, don't support Man United or Arsenal or Spurs just because they're in the news a lot. If you live near them, local, or you've got family who support them, then fair enough. My dad's from the northeast, that's why I support Newcastle, because the accent, obviously I'm not from Newcastle, so I was brought up the right way, he says. But yeah, go to your local non-league club, that's what I was going to say. So wherever you are, there will be a non-league club. If you drive past a sports field and there's a sign up saying such and such FC, go see if they're playing on a Saturday afternoon. Go help them out, volunteer if you can. There's a lot of very good people running these clubs, and you never know. You know, I when I started playing as Hatfield here, I was never expecting them to actually take notice of what I was doing. You know, John messaged me out of the blue, saying that he saw the videos and liked them. And now I'm involved with, well, somewhat involved with Hatfield. It hasn't really started yet this season for me. I've been very, very busy, unfortunately. But hopefully, yeah, I can get involved with them again this year. I'm still working for Hashtag, doing the programs for them as well. I did the player profiles again this year. So yeah, I'm very much cemented in football right now. Chelsea, yeah, I don't mind Chelsea. My mum's a Chelsea fan. I don't like Chelsea as much this year as I have done in previous years. I think Tuchel is a bit of a whingy bastard, I think is one way of saying it. But yeah, I don't mind Chelsea. If Newcastle are playing Chelsea, obviously I want Newcastle to win, but otherwise I'm okay with Chelsea winning. If they won the league this year, I wouldn't complain. Unless we came second, then I'd complain. I was at Stamford Bridge for the match last season. I think we were robbed, to be honest. I think we were absolutely robbed. Right, half time, 1-0, looking good. They haven't even had a shot, never mind one on target. I am going to make some changes, and it might sound harsh, because for the most part we have played well, but I think right now Joe Ragg is not the best player to have up front. So I think I'm going to bring Pickler on to play as a target man. We'll put him on support. We'll have him hold position. I don't know about risk taking. I think the rest of this is pretty much okay, but hold position, definitely. We want him to stay pretty central. Don't come at your boy Tuchel. I mean, what can I say about Tuchel? I'm not his biggest fan, let's put it that way. Oh, I'm going to bring Antonio on as well. That's the other thing I was going to say. For Wilcox, you're going to play as, I think, pretty much the same role. I don't know why I'm doing personalness for every time I make a change. Excuse me, I think I drank too much just then. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave you as is here. We'll leave Prosser on for now. We could make some more changes as the game goes on. I think these are good changes. The reason I'm not Tuchel's biggest fan is he replaced Klopp at Dortmund. I believe he was the direct replacement for Klopp at Dortmund. And Dortmund didn't really seem to do that well with him in charge. And you can't really use PSG as his datum for how good he is as a manager, because they will always win the French league. And the one season they didn't, was it Lille won the league? You know, that was a bit of a surprise. He didn't win the Champions League. He got to the final with PSG. He didn't win the Champions League with them. Yes, he did with Chelsea, but I'd argue he did that with Lampard's team. So, you know, he got to a final last season and lost it. I'm not seeing anything that suggests that he's a good manager. Well, he's not a manager, he's a coach. He's a head coach. He likes to fight on the touchlines now. He comes out with weird, like, observations. He criticised his players for not being ready for the start of the season 2 weeks before the season started, but he had an entire pre-season with them. So what was he doing? I don't know. I'm very hypercritical of outspoken managers. I don't like Klopp for the same reason. You know, the pitch at Craven Cottage was too dry, apparently. Yeah. What about the one at Anfield when Palace outrun them? What about, you know, Old Trafford when they got absolutely obliterated last night? I didn't hear that many excuses from Tuchel on Sunday, but at the same time, he also came out and said he thought Chelsea were the better team and deserved to win. And they lost 3-0 and had a man sent off, so I don't know what game he was watching. And don't get me wrong, I'd say the same things. You know, if Eddie Howe came out and said we deserved to win a match that we got absolutely spanked in, I'd say the same things about him. So, it's not bias. I just, yeah, find it weird. We'll find out one way or another what kind of manager he is. He did win the Champions League with Chelsea. I'll give him that. And Chelsea have played somewhat good football under him. But he also, you know, basically broke the world record for a striker transfer fee and then didn't play a system involving a striker. He also had probably the best left winger in the Bundesliga from a couple of years ago and didn't play him out on the left wing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to beat you over the head with a stick about it. Chelsea fan, fair enough. I think it's because I've got a Chelsea fan in the family that, you know, I watch them a lot because of that. Oh, Pickler with the shot there. Oh, I've got cricket notifications going off. Don't know if anyone here has been watching the 100. I think I've watched like 2 matches from start to finish and seen little bits of others. Last season I pretty much watched every match, so I do need to start watching it a little bit more again. Unfortunately, they put it on at the same time as the football in the evenings, so it's a bit hard to watch both. Oh, Abramovich was ruthless when it came to managers. You lose twice, you're out, basically. I think the new ownership's going to be different, and it's kind of... It's weird to see Chelsea play without Abramovich there. But, you know, it had to happen, let's be honest. And I'm not going to make any complaints and criticisms about the money or whatever, because Newcastle are in that position now, so... I'm going to choose my words very carefully on that aspect. I think Chelsea have been pretty smart this year. They have turned the team into the Chelsea pensioners a little bit, but maybe there'll be some youth coming in soon. I think I've forgotten his name. The guy you signed from Villa. He looks exciting. I've actually got him in my journeyman save on here in my Ipswich team, and he's very, very good there. There's the guy you've just signed from Inter Milan. He's also, is he 20, I believe? He looks good as well. So it's not like they're all over 30. But yeah, Koulibaly, when Man United were first linked with him 7 years ago, would have been a good signing. But now he's 31. Bit slow. Ronaldo, hands down. Ronaldo's won league titles in 3 different countries. He's been... I know he's got a couple of years on Messi, but he is the top scorer in Champions League history right now. He's a good all-rounder. Messi is a good passer and a good finisher, but he's not that dominant in the air. And he's not really one... You think about the Euros when Ronaldo got injured in the final, and he basically coached the team from the sideline for the rest of the game. Messi would be sat on the bench with his ankle in an ice bucket. That's the difference for me, is what they're like off the pitch as well as on it. Plus, yes, Argentina have now won an international tournament, but until, was it last year? Ronaldo had won an international title and Messi hadn't. Oh, Pickler! Gets in. I keep getting caught out by goals. That one came from nothing as well. Let's watch this back. So Hope picked it up there, knocked it to Alessandroni. His shot was blocked, and then Pickler came flying in, did some weird like squat header in off the bar. Messi is good, but there was something I read about Messi a few years ago, which is not, I'm not having a go at him. I think this is smart. He, when he was playing with Xavi and Iniesta and, David Villa, Neymar, Suarez, you see him in areas where he's running with the ball through the middle of the pitch and he passes it to someone and they always pass it back to him, even if they're around the box. There's one of 2 reasons why that happens. One, he's Messi. You give the ball back to him because chances are he'll score. But the second one was, there were times where he would just slightly overhit a pass to his teammate to put his teammate in a position where the only option they have is to pass the ball back to him. So he was always working the game so that he had the ball, which is something that Ronaldo doesn't do. And it is very, very clever, like I say, to be able to dictate the game like that. But there's also an element of selfishness, like he wants to be the main man. Even at PSG, he wants to be the main man. He's taken the number 30, so Neymar can keep 10, but I imagine deep down that irks him a little bit. But yeah, they're both very good players. But I think in terms of all-round ability, Ronaldo, he's just great at everything. You name anything, he can win a header in his own box, sprint up the pitch inside 10 seconds and finish it in the other box. And he has done that. He's done that for Portugal. Like, he's 37 now, and he could still do that. That's what's incredible. He's an incredible athlete considering his age. Messi, I think, would struggle at Ronaldo's age to stay competitive. And I do feel like he went to PSG as like a one last hope for winning league titles, and he couldn't quite do it in England, He could have gone anywhere. He could have tried his hand in Italy, could have tried his hand in Germany. I think he'd have fitted German football quite well, but I feel like he bottled it a little bit by going to France. Messi does have assists, but if you look, there's times where he'll run through players where he could have easily passed it. And there's also times where he plays 1-2s with players. And if you look when he actually plays it out wide, it's either slightly too close to the corner flag, so that they have to knock the ball back to him, or there's little tricks. It's like I said, it's something I've read. It's not something where I could point at a specific moment and say, look, he's done it here. But I do remember after reading it, I was kind of more aware of the fact that he was doing it. The only header I can remember Messi scoring is in the Champions League final against Man United, which was 2009. Long time ago now. But like I said, they are both incredible footballers, and I do think it is a bit dumb that we are sat here talking about which one's better when we could just be enjoying the fact that they're both playing in our lifetime. I think we can all agree that Neymar will never be as good as them, and Mbappe probably won't be either. They might score lots of goals, but they are playing in France. No disrespect to Ligue 1, but until you start a season not knowing who's going to win the league that year, you're not the best league in Europe. Right, so yeah, 2-0 up. Bit fortunate on the second goal, but I will still take it. Kind of fortunate on the first goal as well, to be fair. But we've got some 7s on the board now, which is nice to see. Thuo whipping that cross in, but not enough to get it away from the keeper. We're coming up to the hour mark. Thuo on the ball. Does play it down the line to McLaren. Back to Thuo. He does get the cross in. Blair was there. And again, another day that might have been a really good opportunity for us. Considering the score now, I do feel like we can switch back to 4-2-3-1. I think if we can play Blair out here, which he can do, and then we'll play Pickler up front on his own. This could work. Haaland is good. Haaland's a good all-rounder as well, but I think he's too much like Ronaldo to be considered the best right now, I would say. Like, he's strong, he's fast, he's tall, but I don't think he's got the footwork that you would need. He doesn't need to have the status as the best player in the world. You know, he can score at the rate he's doing now and be considered a good player. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to hit confirm. Again, I think it's like with F1. You can never say outright this player is the best, because football's changed so much in the decades. You know, the match the game that Pele played is nothing like what we play now. Formations are different, the ball's different, boots, you know, technology's now in football, so there's goals that would have been valid back then that aren't now. The laws have changed. It's so hard to compare. There are some really good players who've sadly been lost to time now as well. Claren, that's a good cross. Oh. Keeper there came out and didn't get it. That's a really good ball as well to Pope. Hopefully it stayed onside. Seems to have. Cross blocked. Antonio tried to give him another opportunity there. Of course, everything I say about these players isn't necessarily fact. It's my opinion. People might have different opinions. That's totally fine. Oh, Mason's been booked. That's not a big deal. Ease off, son. Ease off. Actually, with you as well. Fewer risks. Let's not play silly buggers. Cross comes in. Thuo with the header away. I was not expecting to see that. And that's another foul. Is he going to get booked? He is. He's off. They've got 2 players sent off. Wow. They've just lost their left back. Newcastle top 8. Oh, that's tricky. The Premier League is very much split this year. There's teams like Fulham, who you wouldn't expect to have a good start, but are. You've also got... who else came up? Bournemouth. Bournemouth are doing all right. And then you've got Forest, who... They've won their last 2 now, haven't they? So they're looking pretty good. Oh, no, sorry, they drew against West Ham. No, not West Ham. Everton. They did draw against... Yeah, they drew against Everton. So they've had a win, a loss, and a draw. Then you've got teams like... I mean, Man United and Liverpool will recover. We know that. But right now, they're both in the bottom half of the table. You've also got, you know, Chelsea are struggling. Arsenal are dominant right now. They look very, very good. You can see that Arteta's starting to implement the Guardiola methodology into Arsenal. And the signings they've made have been amazing. You know, Zinchenko and Jesus. At that point, you're kind of wondering how the hell they pulled those off. Newcastle top 8. I reckon if we can get another striker and maybe another central midfielder, we could finish top 8. Our bench looked very light at the weekend, and that's one of the reasons why we couldn't get the result. But, you know, we've got January as well. We did very well last January. We could easily do well next January in terms of recruitment. So, possibly. I would take top 8, that's for sure. That's something a lot of people misunderstand with Newcastle fans right now. Just because we've got the new owners, we're not expecting to win the league in the next 5 years or so. We just want to compete. We just want to have a team that tries. We might go for an FA Cup in a year or so's time. We might go for a League Cup. Who knows? But right now, we just want to be an established Premier League team, slowly build up. We don't necessarily want to break the transfer record every year. Just want a team that cares, basically. We don't want mediocrity anymore. In a few years' time, 5-10 years' time, we can start aiming higher. Man City, it took them a long time to become true competitors. And now, they are really good. It's not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. Their academy's amazing, the stadium, just everything. They're doing it all right, and I really hope that's what we end up doing as well. It's actually something that Stevenage did. We got a big chunk of money when Steve Morrison went to Norwich from Millwall. I think we had like a 40% sell-on clause, and they sold him for, I think it was 6 million. So we got 40% of that. And the chairman used it to buy some land just outside Stevenage, and he built a whole new training ground. One of the best in the country even now. They got pitches, I think they got 5 pitches, and each one is a different, like, set up for different weather conditions and things like that. So there's one that's quite boggy, which is, heavy rain. There's one that's just like a carpet, which is what the stadium pitch is like at the moment as well. And then the old training ground was turned into an academy. And we've had some really good players come through. Ben Wilmot, who I believe is currently at Stoke. He came through our academy. We have had other players who came through the academy who haven't quite reached the same heights. But you never know. Luke Freeman, who's right now at, I want to say QPR, but I think he's moved on. I think he might be at Luton now. He didn't come through our academy, but he was a young player that we bought from Arsenal when we were in League 1, I think it was. And he went on to play in the Premier League. George Boyd came through Stevenage's academy way back when. Played for Burnley in the Premier League. So there's a lot of potential at Stevenage. Every time a young player comes through, there's a couple we've got now, and we're always thinking this is going to be the next one. There's a guy, Leke Drake, I think his name is. We sold him to Man City last year for an academy record fee. We don't know the amount. We'll probably never know the amount, but that's exciting. We had a young goalkeeper who's just joined Man United's academy from us, which is also exciting. These are players who could be in the Premier League in the next few years, and they started at Stevenage. Keenan Davis, who's at Villa, he started at Stevenage. There's another one as well I've completely forgotten about. Yes, I love when a club invests in its academy and invests in its future. Newcastle have got some good young players coming through as well. Dylan Stevenson, Elliot Anderson, Matt Bonswell. It's good. It's nice to see. Stevenage are in League 2, so they're 3 leagues below Newcastle. They actually played Newcastle in the FA Cup back in 2011 and beat them 3-1. That was a bittersweet day because it was at Stevenage, so we were in the home end. But we celebrated all 4 goals because that's what you do. My dad was there with his Stevenage shirt on but his Newcastle scarf. Surprisingly, the home fans were okay with that, but Stevenage and Newcastle have got history, so we kind of kept our heads down a little bit. But yeah, that was an interesting game. And Hatfield are in the Hertfordshire Senior County League Premier Division, which is 10 leagues below the Premier League. So a bit of a ways to go. Right now, we've had 2 promotions in this save, so we're 8 leagues below the Premier League. So we've got a little ways to go as well. But right now, it's looking good. Nice little 2-0 win here would see us on the right path for sure. Just said at the bottom there, I seem very happy. Yes, I do. Prosser wins the ball back. For some reason, he's the highest player up the pitch right now. I'm not quite sure how or why. Yeah, when your teams play each other. So, when I was a kid, it was you support one team and that's it. But as an adult, like, very, very rarely are Newcastle going to play Stevenage, and even more rarely are either of those teams going to play Hatfield. So I think it's fine to have more than one team. I used to support Malaga in Spain as well, because I played with them a lot on FIFA. I like to think I discovered Santi Cazorla because when I played as Malaga, he was a youngster coming through, and I played him in the first team for me on FIFA, and he was a good player. And then he signed for Arsenal, and I was like, I know him, kind of thing. And Nacho Monreal and Willy Caballero, they're all in my team. Who else? Di Michelis for Man City. He was in my team as well. Sad what happened to Malaga. The money dried up and they kind of went bust, but they got relegated. I think they're in the second division now in Spain. They might have got promoted back actually, but I think they're in the second division. This was before I got into supporting Hatfield, so they were kind of my unofficial third team. But yeah, I mean, I have 3 teams. That's the main one. Technically 4 if you include Chelsea, but as I said, less on that one now. But yeah, it's so rare they play each other. But when they do, like if I went to Newcastle, I would probably feel more comfortable celebrating a Stevenage goal because, you know, they're less likely to kick off. But when you're at a Stevenage match, you're standing on the terraces. Joey Barton scored. It just happened to be a good goal, so a lot of the fans in our end were applauding anyway. But that would have been an awkward one to explain. It's fine though. Football isn't... I have seen things like fights kick off and stuff like that. Not been involved in any of them personally, thankfully. But you kind of get a heart-in-mouth moment. For the most part, it's pretty friendly. Going to Stamford Bridge last year, we met some locals. We were chatting with them as we were walking down towards the stadium. We saw them again after the game. You know, it's... for the most part, it's just a friendly experience. I remember once going to Shrewsbury to see Stevenage play, and we rode on the bus to the stadium. We were the only Stevenage fans on the bus. Didn't feel bad about that at all. Very, very friendly, very nice people. And at the end, we won that game, I think, or we lost. It was 1-0, but I can't remember who to. But at the end, it was just like, you know, thanks for the game. Good luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll see you next year. Which teams do they support in the Premier League, just out of interest? I know a lot of people my age who support Arsenal because they were the dominant team back when we were kids. I mean, I grew up just north of London, so that kind of makes sense as well. But I also know people who are Man U fans and have no logical explanation as to why, other than they were the league champions the year they were born or the year they got into football. I don't like people like that, not as much. No one could have accused me of being a glory hunter when I told them I supported Newcastle. Let's put it that way. Alison Joni there with a shot. Keeper punched it away. Now Del Piccolo to Blair, who I think was offside. Yes. I can normally tell these days when a player is offside. We've got 19 minutes left. Arsenal, Thierry Henry. Yeah, I had a suspicion. The French contingent at Arsenal back then. Sylvain Wiltord, Robert Pires, you know, could be worse, I suppose. Arsenal were a good team, the Invincibles especially. Fair enough on that one. Right, I think my third sub, I think I'm going to bring Hope off, and I'm going to bring Marsden on purely for the fact that Hope was looking a little bit tired, and I don't think Welwyn Garden City are going to cause us that much trouble now with 2 men down, but you know, we've got Mason, Prosser, Blair all on yellow cards, and that could quite easily become a red. So just want to be a little mindful of the fact this game isn't over yet. So we're gonna treat them with respect. We're gonna bring on an extra, not an extra, just gonna bring on some fresh legs at left back there. Especially as it looks like they have still got someone out on that right hand side. That's well played, Anderson Droney. Didn't win the throw, but kept them busy at least. Wow, look at that for a formation. You can just about see it. If I... yeah, I'm actually covering everything on that side. They're basically playing no strikers right now. They're playing like a crumpled smiley face. Ugh. Actually, yeah, that does look like someone's had a bit of an injury. Alright, let's win the ball back, lads. Have they had a shot yet? No. We've had 16 shots, 8 on target, and only scored twice. I have questions. I have lots of questions. I don't even remember seeing 8 shots on target. I certainly don't remember seeing 16 shots in total. But the match rating's looking good. Blair on a 7.5. Pickler and Alessandroni on 7.3s. McLaren on a 7.2. Prosser out wide to Blair. Oh, that guy's on a yellow as well, actually. Oh, I know what I can do. Play for set pieces. Also, we can turn the tempo down now. Don't need to be as quick. That is a lot of shots, yeah. For a team at this level, even having like 5 is pretty decent. Never mind 16. Yeah, Alessandroni, he's not the tallest. He was such a gem. I couldn't believe it when he actually agreed to join us. I might have paid over the odds a little for him, wage-wise. Like, he's not going to bankrupt the club or anything. Well, hopefully not. In terms of the finances, they're not the healthiest right now, which is one reason why I do want to start pushing up the leagues. But he's such a good player. Just every now and then you find one where you think, what's he doing playing for us? You know? Up until recently, it was like Hayden Hazel, Steve Carter, McLaren, also a good player. And now we've got the next generation starting to come through. Antonio as well. He was our player until last season. Now he's on loan to us, but I'm trying to get him back permanently. Duo's cross there, blocked, headed away. Duo again. That's a good ball. Pickler's header. He was offside. But that's what I like about him and Draper. They can both win those headers in those areas. I mean, look at the height difference here between him and this guy, Matthews, who I think, is he their centre-back? Oh, we've got to man-mark him, surely. We've got to attack down that bit. Let's turn these off. Focus play down. Oh. See if we're doing this. Let's do that. Yeah, focus the ball on Pickler. I don't think... Oh, they're swapping now. I was going to say, I don't think they've got any players back. We've got Pickler forward on his own. Wow, Thuo took too long. I'm sure his name's pronounced Tuo, but I'm going to keep saying Thuo until someone tells me otherwise. I've never seen that surname before. I keep going to say Truro because it looks like that. Crosser well cut out. Antonio to Thuo. 12 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Blair flicks it inside to McLaren, who's also had a very good game. No worries, Gassan. Thank you for coming in. If you haven't hit the sub button already, be sure to do so. It'd be nice to see you again in a future stream. Also hit the like button as well. That'd be a big help. But yeah, hopefully after this week's stream, I might play on off camera, and if we're looking like we're going to win the league, then that'll be next week's content. If not, then you won't hear from me for a while, because this will be like our 4th season of trying and failing. So the grind will continue. But I'm feeling pretty confident about this season. So it won't be long before we're in the Football League. Fingers crossed. Antonio to Mason. Oh, And of course, have a good rest of your evening as well. If you're off to watch the football, try to remember who's on TV tonight. I will be watching the Stevens match after this. Good old eye follow. Shot over the bar. Unlucky. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Have a good evening. They've still gone with the 3 centre backs. I guess that's just their system. Personally, after the first goal, I would have probably changed the system and tried to go a bit more attacking. Never mind the red card. A bit touch and go there. I think Antonio was trying to coax him into a foul. Or at least putting a challenge in. That's a foul, thank you. We'll take that free kick all day long. Who's on them now? Because Hope's gone off. That is Alessandroni. And that is the keeper coming and punching yet again. I was moaning about Newcastle the other day as well, that we had so many dominant players in the air. We got Byrne, Botman, Wood, Joel Linton, and yet set pieces we just did nothing. We didn't look that dangerous from corners. Never mind free kicks. Apart from Trippier's, obviously. So another foul. We are definitely pulling the fouls now. Antonio's ball. Matthews with the clearance. To Marsden. Moving the ball around nicely. That's a good ball in. Ooh, defender did well there. If he'd missed that, Blair was in. Hopefully onside. Bentley with a big boom forward. We do have a weird shape then. It looked like we had a back three ourselves for a second there. Blair playing out wide as well, he can almost move into sort of a inside forward type role. I'm loving the options we've got right now. The versatility in our squad. It's probably the most versatile squad I've ever had in terms of players and what positions they can play in. It's very, very exciting. Lots and lots of opportunities. The fact that Blair can basically play across the entire front line, and he can also play as a cam. Pickler can play on the left. McLaren can play central or out wide right. Rag can play as a sort of second striker. Throw him out on the wing. I will be honest with Rag. He was brought in because Alessandroni was moaning because I promised I'd bring in someone to help him settle and then didn't. So I asked him to recommend someone and he recommended Rag, who I'd already scouted previously and knew that he wasn't the best option available for the right wing position, but I did need someone to cover that position. And he was available for, well, it was meant to be free, but it ended up being $2,000. But I thought I'd take a punt anyway, and he didn't play bad today. It's just, we needed that extra striker, and it wasn't going to be him. I didn't want to bring McLaren off, because he was doing alright, and as it turned out, he got the assist for the first goal. So, again, I kind of looked at the versatility of the squad that we have, and who could play where, and decided that moving McLaren out wide was the better option for the time. So that's where McLaren actually played when he first joined us. He played out wide right, and it was only sort of towards the end of that season that I moved him inside as a cam. That's a yellow. Going for a world record here. How many yellow cards have they had? My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, if you count the second one there. 5, 6, 7, 8. They've had 8 yellow cards. I mean, we've had 4. So I'm not going to get on my high horse just yet. not great though, is it? It's a fiery local derby. Look at Marsden. He's trying to draw the foul. Ah, he's not even won the throw. That is shithousery at its finest. If you watch the video of Anderson for Palace winding up Nunez throughout the match and trying to coax him into reacting, that is like welcome to the Premier League 101 basically. Spent the whole time winding him up, little pushes in the back, little kick outs, things like that, and then when Nunez reacted with the old headbutt, probably the worst way to react. Like if he'd got him in a headlock, it would have been less serious than headbutting him. It doesn't even matter if it's a little love tap at the forehead, you know, a headbutt's a headbutt at the end of the day. It's a straight red card. But like that level of dedication, I don't know whether that was planned beforehand with the coaching or whatever, but he definitely has a third red card there for Lincoln City. Oh dearie me. 2 more and the game gets abandoned. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen a team have 3 players sent off in a match before. We have proper played them here, which is basically what Anderson did to Nunez. Like I said, I don't know if it was planned beforehand or what, whether he just decided to do it on the day. But yeah, he sold him hook, line and sinker. And I loved every second of it, I won't lie. It was very, very satisfying. Because I watched that game live, and the moment where he headbutted him, I was just like, that's what the money buys you. Was it 68 million quid? That's what it buys you. For 17 million less, they could have had Haaland. But, oh well. He scored a lucky flick on his debut against Fulham, so... And he did score against Man City in the Charity Shield as well. Alright, Blair. Do we tell our players to run at the defence? I reckon we can try and get another goal out of this game. I'm going to turn that on as well. We might as well try out some little tactics at this point. Do that. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. Let's go. Oh, one more thing. Switch that to attacking as well. So McLaren to Thua. Clips it across. Missed Pickler. Should probably tell them to aim for the target forward as well when they're crossing. But to be honest, he's a big guy. He's hard to miss. He is also 9 times out of 10 the only one in the box. So. Plus, to expect a player at this level to be that accurate with a cross is a little optimistic. Throw-in. There's matches kicking off now, I've just seen. Is it 25-2? There's 3 matches already kicked off. Wow. Huh. Okie dokie. Blair's header off the crossbar. Wow. If that had gone in, I mean, Blair, he's had a bit of a slow start to his career here. He was the first choice striker to begin with. Then Draper came back in. Again, I still had feelings of resentment towards Draper for last season's cup final where he just didn't do anything at all. But, you know, Blair's played well, just not scored many goals. But he seems to have found his feet now. We have got that conundrum of having, you know, 2 or 3 strikers in form that I need to try and find space in the squad for. I'm just glad we don't have registration rules right now because I wouldn't be able to register them. Oh, yes. Alisson Droney. Crosser with the assist. I don't want to keep punching my hand. That really hurts. Ow. But what a goal that is as well. This is why I like having at least one winger playing on the wrong side, basically. So he's right-footed playing on the left. Marsden here with the ball in. Nodded down by Prosser. And there's Alisson Droney on his stronger foot to just drive it past the goalkeeper. 3-0. We're in injury time. There's only 2 minutes of injury time left. There might be a little extra now because of that goal. We have absolutely done a number on Wellingborough City here. This is the best win I think I've had in this save, to be honest. Just the performance is outstanding. The players have done everything right. They've all followed the tactics perfectly. And we've had 3 players sent off for Welling Garden. You know, what more is there to say? before. Oh, wide from Pickler. Good ball from Thuo, though. He seems to have come alive now, of all times. Look at that. 7.8 for Alessandroni. 7.5 for Blair. 7.4 for Pickler. 7.3 for McLaren. And Thuo. 7.2 for Prosser. And he's been booked, and he's on a 7.2. 7.0 for Del Piccolo. It makes you wonder what Mason's been doing all game. I suppose he's had a bit of a quiet one, and he's picked up a yellow card, but still. Once the red cards started happening, I guess he just didn't see the ball much, because they didn't have anyone to play it to up front. I've thoroughly enjoyed this stream tonight, to be honest. The chat's been good. The performances from the players have been amazing. This is what streaming Football Manager should be like every week. This has been an absolute blast, guys. I'm very, very glad to have shared it all with all of you. If this isn't worth hitting the like button, I don't know what is. Oh, we actually had a sub earlier. Shobit Singh with the subscription on YouTube. I don't know why it didn't come up. Maybe it did and I just missed it. Oh, did I turn it off? Something tells me... No, it's on. So I don't know what happened there, but thank you for the subscription if you are still here. Apologies, it didn't get picked up. Maybe I just completely missed it. That's a possibility. I'm bad for that. That is final whistle. Alessandroni with man of the match. I think that's fair. He was involved a lot in the game. He didn't score all the goals. He only scored once. I did get an assist for Pickler's goal, but it was a blocked shot, so I don't know if that should count. But we had 24 shots, 12 on target, 56% possession. They had no shots, nil points, absolute none. You know, they only had one corner. They committed 24 fouls. They were all right in terms of, you know, tackles won, headers won, passes completed. That was pretty good. 8 yellow cards, 3 red cards, one of which was a straight red. Wasn't even for a second yellow. Just, I mean, how to throw away a match 101 right there from Welwyn Garden City. Yeah, you've blown them away. Why would I not say that? I don't want them to get complacent or anything, but that was probably the best performance of the entire series. That game was so good. And I was genuinely nervous at the start because we didn't have Draper in the squad. You know, some of our other better players, should we say, like Rudge wasn't in the squad because he's picked up an injury. It just shows how good our squad depth is now. I will quickly, before we wrap up the stream here, I will stop the recording now. Tom, if you are watching, I will send that through to you straight after this. Actually, might do it overnight. We'll see. Because the internet here still isn't great. We are 7 points clear at the top of the table now. We're on 45. Team in second is on 38. And it's Hatfield, who are one of our bogey teams. But yeah, let's go to the squad for a second. So, some of the players who didn't get a run out today. Brown and Torham, who are our first choice centre-backs last season. Both of whom were good. Brown would have played instead of Mason. But he would have only managed 75 minutes. And there's no point risking him if you've got other players who can come in. Simper wasn't in the squad. Ken Charles, Draper, Rudge. We've got some players on loan here as well. Almami Keita, who I brought in to play as a cam. He's back up to McLaren, basically, after Green went out on loan. He could have come in today, but didn't. I mean, look at that. He's got a penalty taking of 13. Dribbling of 11. Very, very good for this level. Genovese was suspended. I mean, Ford, it's very hard to usurp Madge right now, but he's not far off being able to do it. These guys on trial, ignore them. That was just me looking for cover in certain positions, most of which I have now filled. And then if you look at the bench as well, you know, Maxwell was one of our best players last season. This season, he wants to leave because he's not getting enough first team football. To be honest, looking at his wages, might be worth loaning him out and bringing someone else in on loan for no wages, just to get him off the wage bill for a little bit, but I don't want to get rid of him because I think he will be a good player for us. You know, Pickler is probably going to be in the first team for the next game instead of, you know, we'll drop Rag, move Blair out wide, put Pickler in up front. Hayden Campbell could have come off the bench. Would have been pretty deep. In fact, I think he's the cam. Yeah, he's the cam. He can also play as a CM, and he can play as a right midfielder. But he would have been the cam sub if McLaren had to come off, which thankfully he didn't. You know, Marsden came on and did well at left back. Antonio came on and did well in central midfield. He's only 18, Antonio, and this is technically his 3rd season with us. It's the 3rd season that he's played for us. But yeah, he did go away for a bit and then came back. So there's so much to be excited for with this this save now. We've hit a real purple patch, and considering that is Hatfield's colours, that's pretty spot on for us. But yeah, I am going to wrap things up here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, or the stream, I should say, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of the performance. If you've ever seen a team have 3 red cards in a match before, do let me know, because that is a new one for me. For or against, I've never seen that many before, so if you've experienced it, do let me know. Otherwise, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for continued support. Like I said, really helps me out. I'm gonna stop the music for this little last bit here. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to hit the follow button and tune in next week. Hopefully we'll be streaming next week. We might not be, actually, but if not, then, you know, next time there's a stream, be sure to tune in and watch. If you want to see me again, I'll be back tomorrow on Twitch and YouTube for the next episode of Wild Realms on Planet Zoo. I was talking about Frontier earlier, and we're playing one of their best games now. Tomorrow we're doing lions, working with the lion enclosure again. So if you're into lions, if you're into zoos, all that sort of thing, do check it out. For now, though, enjoy the rest of your evenings. I'm off to watch the football. Hopefully Steamage will win. Hopefully your teams will win too if you're about to watch the matches as well. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Enjoy the rest of your weeks if I don't see you again. And until next time, I will see you soon.